Hey guys, it's voiceover Anne and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hey. Today I'm going to show you how I created these centerpieces for my baby shower, and I'm just so excited because this video was kindly sponsored by Cricut and they sent me over some really cool things to try out. So I actually already had the Cricut Air 2 before, but the star of the show in this video is going to be the Cricut Explore 3, which is so amazing. Again, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it later, but first I'm just showing you all the materials that you're going to need. So I went to my local dollar store, found some flowers, and then I also conveniently found these wooden boxes. Now, they did come with a drawer on the inside, but I didn't actually need that. I took that out. I'm just going to use the outside part as well as those styrofoam balls. So you are more than welcome to paint this whatever color you'd like, depending on what your theme is. Of course, I'm having a girl, so we're going to be putting subtle touches of pink, but if I'm being honest, I think it would be even really cute if you used like a wood stain and stained this like a darker color and then had some white vinyl on top. But again, we're kind of having like overall mostly whites, gold, silver, and then touches of pink. So I figured we would have these at the center of each of our guests' tables. So of course, generously coat these boxes with whatever color it is that you chose or stain them. I didn't decide to do the bottom, obviously, because that won't be seen, but I did go ahead and do the edges of the top of the box where the flowers are going to come out, just in case there were any gaps in between the petals. I painted 9 boxes because we're going to be making 3 centerpieces today. On another day, I actually want to get pink vinyl and put it on white boxes. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to show you this option. Of course, you can cater it to however you'd like. So right here, I'm kind of showing you how I created my images within Photoshop. Of course, you don't have to be like a graphic design professional. I'm sure you could probably use Canva if you'd like, or there's so many like apps that I'm sure you could make this. I just took a rounded square and then I used the font Baskerville so it could have that nice serif letter. So for mine, I wanted the alphabet blocks to read baby girl, and the block that's actually going to sit on top, I decided to put just baby related images. So I found some little baby footprints, and I sourced all these images from Google, just trying to find ones that looked similar to each other as far as just style. And I just made sure that they had transparent backgrounds. So you see a pacifier, a little clothespin, and lastly, a little baby bottle. So since I'm in Photoshop, I can easily take out the white background and it can be saved as a PNG, meaning that there's no background, but that's totally optional. If you end up throwing an image into the Cricut program, then you can actually go in and choose all of the white areas and take that out so that it could read what your cut image is going to be. So when you set up that software, it's actually going to take you step by step on what you're going to do. So I went ahead and just went to the fun part, the cutting part. So this is really cool. They sent me over this roll holder that you don't have to pre-cut your vinyl, and you can just kind of let your Cricut do what it needs to do, and then whenever it's done, you can cut it while it's already been cut, if that makes any sense. You'll see what I mean. But I find this really convenient because then you don't have to worry about what's going to be excess, and you can really make the most out of the vinyl that you have. Here I'm using their new smart vinyl. I'm using a permanent white color because of course I just want these to stick nicely to these wooden boxes and I don't have any plans of removing them later. And as you can see, once it was done cutting, I just kind of found where my design stopped and I cut the vinyl there. So this Explore 3 is just amazing because it cuts literally 2 times faster. And again, if you buy the smart vinyl, then you don't need to use a mat as long as the material you're going to cut is only up to 12 inches as far as your design goes. So now, since I used white, I know it's kind of hard to see the design that I'm pulling apart, but as you can see, I'm using my weeding tool and just taking off all of the pieces that I don't want, all the negative space. And once I've done all that, then I can use this cutter and cut out all the boxes individually. So once you have all of your pieces cut out, then you're also going to need to cut out some transfer tape to actually transfer the vinyl onto the wooden blocks. And I'm showing you here that I took my weeding tool just to separate the backing at the corner of the transfer tape, and you can go ahead and remove that. So I'll also show you actually a better technique later on, but if I'm being honest, sometimes I'm lazy and I just like to take it off, apply it, and use this scraper to make sure that it adheres onto the transfer tape. I like to do it on the front and on the back just to be a little bit more safe. And once you feel like you've got it nice and attached to that transfer tape, then you can peel off the backing. So now you just have to position it onto the wooden block. And I guess I should have mentioned this earlier. Of course, you should measure the material that you're using and what you want to attach it to, because when you are in the program, then you know how big to actually make your design. I wanted this square to sit a little bit inside of the wooden block so that I could have kind of that, like, you know, spacing on the edges. And just look at how satisfying that looks once you take the transfer tape off. So I'm using my finger, just kind of pressing it down in some areas that might need it, and then you can just move along to the other sides of your wooden blocks. Now here's a little bit of a better practice when using your transfer tape. Just lift off a corner and then you can stick it down to the corner of your vinyl and pull away. That way it kind of goes onto it nice and flat and you don't get any like weird bumps or anything. Yeah, that would definitely be the better practice in using this. But of course, like I said, sometimes your girl ain't got the time. So you guys saw me do baby on that side, but I'm just gonna speed through and do girl off camera. Did a little TikTok transition for you. And then lastly, we're just gonna do this box at the top, which is where I'm going to put all the other images that I found off of Google. Now I understand that if you're having a boy, then it might not be as convenient considering that girl is a 4-letter word and boy is a 3-letter word. But of course you could also just do the basic ABC block or stick to just images like I'm doing here. Customize it to your liking and whatever works best for you. I really feel like this project could go a ton of different ways, and at the end of the day you could stick whatever it is that you want inside the boxes too. I thought about putting like a teddy bear in there, or if you could find some ways to make like little mini balloons coming out from the top. I really think that this could be a very customizable project. So lastly, we just have to put the flowers inside. I'm using this hot glue gun to stick the styrofoam balls to the bottom of the box, but I would also maybe even use E6000 glue. Of course, gluing it down is kind of optional, but I think that it's just nice and better safe than sorry to just make sure everything is nice and secure. And now we're going to actually attach the boxes together. So since I have this cutting mat and it has this grid on it, it actually makes it really helpful in positioning these boxes. I'm kind of placing them so that they're like perpendicular to each other. And then we're gonna use the hot glue again and apply it to that little cross that it's making so that we could put the block on top. But again, I would definitely recommend either hot glue or E6000 glue for this project so that it could be nice and secure. And even if you wanted, you could attach the bottom blocks to like a little wood centerpiece, like something that has a base so that everything is even more secure. I'm thinking about doing that later, but I'm not entirely sure. And once that's nice and cooled down, then you can see that it is attached. And now I'm going to use these wire cutters to cut up the flowers from the stem. I would say maybe like 1 inch or 2, and then we could stick them into the styrofoam balls. So once you have them all nice and cut, you can put them inside the boxes. So for the side ones, I just put 3, one at each corner. Now, when I was doing this, I actually saw that you probably could even just do 2, but I wanted to just make sure that there were no gaps and that no one could see what was on the inside. So I figured the more the merrier. And I made sure to push the flowers nice inside the box so that those side petals could actually be lifted up, because we don't want those petals to cover the letters that we just worked so hard on. You know what I mean? But yeah, this project was super easy and also super inexpensive. Would you guys believe that each centerpiece only cost me $5, guys? $5. And I feel like it just looks so professional. Now, of course, the Cricut Explore 3 helped a lot with this project and made it look a lot cleaner and helped with all the cutting. But I really feel like this project is super customizable, and I just can't wait to see all the things that you guys create. If you happen to make this project yourself, please be sure to tag me and send it on over to my Instagram at anncastro.art, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure to comment down below any other projects that you would like to see me tackle, and subscribe if you haven't already, because we want you here for a long time and not just a good time. Okay, honey? I'll catch you guys next time, and thanks for watching.